Hi everyone, Librarian Jennifer back for another episode of STEAM at Home. I've got my camera, as you can see, set up a little differently today, so hopefully you can get a better view of what I'm doing. I'm going to shoot a couple different videos this way. If you're on Facebook, leave me a comment, let me know if this works better for you. This is a learning process for all of us. So here we go. For today's project, this is a bit of a messy one and takes a couple days to do, so be aware. You're going to need shredded paper. I'm using actually shredded paper from a shredder at the library. You can use just torn up newspaper as well. You're going to need a big bowl. You will need a blender. An immersion blender is really good too, but I don't have one of those. You'll need water. Boiling water is better, but I can't really heat it up where I'm recording. You will need salt, some flour, and a bit of patience. So here we go. To start, you're going to put your shredded paper in a bowl. Next thing you're going to do is pour in your water. Like I said, boiling water is better because it helps to break it down. And then this is going to need to sit. You don't have to leave it overnight, but you're going to have to leave it for at least a few hours until you get a nice kind of broken down consistency. And also, of course, you want to let it cool off before you start working with it. Okay, so here is my paper after it's been setting. Now this is actually my second round of dough I'm making. My first round didn't turn out right. I made it, it came out a little too dry. So I did discover a shortcut in that process because STEAM is all about moving forward and trying again. This batch I just tried boiling on the stove in a pot with some water for about 20 minutes. Make sure you have a grown-up helping you because you should not be messing with hot boiling water by yourself. Next step, you're going to put it into your blender. Okay, so this is what my mixture looks like after I got it out of the blender. It's still really wet. You can see there's a lot of water in there. So I'm just going to kind of put a handful and squeeze out some of the water. And then I'm gonna throw it in another bowl. Parents, this is a good one to do outside because if you could see my floor right now, oh my goodness, this is a messy one, but the messy ones are the most fun. So here is our clay. You can see still pretty wet, but it's not like I don't have a lot of extra water pouring out of it. So that's kind of how we want it, and that's going to be our base. Next thing we're going to do is add some salt. The salt's important because, especially if you're not going to use this all today, this will keep in the fridge in either a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware container with a lid. It'll keep for a couple of weeks, but you're going to have to keep it salted so that way it doesn't get moldy. Next, we're going to add in our flour. I think the ratio is supposed to be about 1 part flour to about 3 parts paper. So, you know, we're gonna eyeball it. If you want to measure it out, that's really great because then that would help you get it exactly right. Kneading and mixing and all sorts of stuff later, I ended up with this ball, a couple of pointers. I would recommend just starting out with a little bit of your paper pulp, a quarter, maybe half, and then start adding your flour to it. That way, just in case you add too much flour, you can add in more pulp if you need to. Yeah, and that's it. Just keep mixing it and kneading it until you get to the point that it's moldable and it's not really sticking to your hands anymore. So there you go. Lots of trial and error with this one. It's not one that we've ever done in STEAM before. So it was a learning process for all of us. Let me know what you guys create. If you are watching this on YouTube, please make sure to like and follow us. And if you are on Facebook, share the video. Post your stuff, tag us, let us know what you're doing while you are at home during this time. And I look forward to seeing what you create with your shredded paper modeling clay. All right, guys, see you next time.